Okay, since you guys liked the previous one when we did 40 breaches and when we saw the results for it, I decided to, do this something crazier today, and that is to actually see if the strong boxes are good now. Apparently they got buffed. We will go over 80 of them in total. That happened on 40 maps in total. We're gonna look at the spreadsheet. Do not worry, I saw your comments. I saw that I gave you like a couple of the flashbangs in the previous one, so we are going to do this in a dark mode so you can chill. There is definitely not going to be any kind of a flashbang, or you can just trust me and relax. Maybe. Okay, stop, pause, chill. Let's get into the strong boxes. Like I said, they buffed the strong boxes. My idea was, you know what, I had good time with strong boxes before the improvement to the rarity. So why not, try it now. We will get a whole bunch of loot, and I'm just gonna spoil these results like straight up. So the results are looking like this. We got 111 exalts in total, but we had to spend more than that, like pretty much like 50%. So that is going to give us a massive negative profit, a loss of 54 exalts. Wow. But look, I actually made the one mistake while doing this, and that is I just decided to exalt spam pretty much like every single strongbox that I saw, and at the end I just decided, you know what, let's just actually do another like spreadsheet right here that is going to just focus on the researcher strongboxes, and actually here our results are something, oops, spoil. The only one that is going to be worth something is going to be this researcher strongbox. I'm gonna come to it later. But for now, okay, let me explain you first of all like these parts right here. So right up here, you do not need to look at it. This is my estimation for the cost. This is what I did before I actually started to run these 40 maps. Right here you can see our actual cost, you can see the total. These strong boxes can spawn as magical ones, then you need 1 regal and 3 exalts to upgrade it. If they spawn as normal ones, you can just upgrade it with 1 alchemy and 2 exalts, which is better, cheaper version. But they can also spawn as rare, so they can already have like 4 or 5 mods, which is of course going to lower your cost. This is why my estimated right here estimated cost per one strongbox is 2.62, which is much higher than actual cost per strongbox, which is like, let's say, just 2 exalts per strongbox. Anyway, right up here you can see the prices. I just took these prices at one moment. Like all of the prices that are gonna be featured right here are taken at one moment. Of course they're going to change, but the ratio should stay the same. Hopefully that is going to be true. One thing before we get into it, you need to understand that I have 0 rarity from my gear, and I have only 6% increase to rarity from Atlas skill tree. And depending on what kind of maps we are going to run, we are going to get from 0 to 100 to our rarity increase. You can also see the quantity of items right here, but quantity of items is not important because we are focusing our attention to the rarity since they buffed it. While we are doing this, let's split this into 2 categories. One is going to be without any rarity modifier to the maps, and the other one is going to have like it's usually 50 to 100% increase rarity whenever you get a rarity on your maps. So we are having these 2 groups. We can just compare them real quick. We can jump into the results. You can see right here that of course you're gonna get more of the loot if you are running maps with a higher rarity to it. This also means that if you have rarity on your gear, if you can afford that, you are going to have much better results than I had. Right here we have the grand total for the 40 runs, and like I said, for these 40 runs, 80 strong boxes, we had a 166 cost. We got 111 exalts in return, and that is just going to give us a massive loss of 54 exalts. And just for the sake of the memes, I actually calculated here time needed. However, time needed right here doesn't really make a lot of sense because we are not specifically playing maps for the strong boxes. This is why I assumed that you are going to need like half a minute per strongbox to clear it. Times 80 is gonna give us, like right here we can see half a minute times 80 is gonna give us a 40 minutes, and that is pretty much like 2/3 of the hour. So this time needed is only for the memes. Also, these exalts and divines are for the memes right here, but you know, they are going to give us just an idea. Like, we are here going to lose half a divine per hour if we are doing this. Of course, it's going to take us more time, because whenever we are playing maps, we are clearing it fully, we are doing other stuff inside of our maps. Do not take this time needed as something that is, you know, true, as well as like these divines per hour. Right up here you can see our averages. The most important thing is, for me actually, it was like 2 strongboxes per one map. One important thing is to note here, I actually have maxed out everything from the strongboxes onto the Atlas skill tree. So if you're gonna run these strongboxes and focus on them, max out that part of a skill tree, of course. Right up here we can actually see the difference between the maps with no rarity and the maps with a rarity. Remember, we ran like 20 maps on each end, but whenever we played without rarity we got 45 boxes, whenever we played with a rarity we got 35 boxes. Anyway, everything is calculated right here, so we can see that we lost quite some, like 38 exalts whenever we played no rarity maps, and we lost 16 exalts with the rarity. Remember, I spammed every single strongbox that I saw. Now, this is all fine and good, but I just thought, you know, like, okay, what would happen if you only focused on researcher strongboxes? Well, let's see. Right here you can also see our cost per strongbox. This is not exact in this case, this is just, you know, some average that I took from top. Right here we have the ratios for all of these this kind of a loot. Anyway, as you can see, from the researcher strongboxes only, I would get a bunch of these currencies. So the most value, as you can see, 90 exalts out of 112 is going to come out of researcher strongboxes. Let's jump to the bottom. So this is if I focused only on researcher strongboxes to spam exalts onto them and ignored everything else, this would be my profit. And we would actually have profit, in this case 40 exalts on the investment of 50. So, you know, we are almost like doubling that investment. Time needed, you know, is, again, it's just for the memes so that we can calculate this this final number right here, 1.22 divines per hour. Remember, assumption is that strongboxes are taking half a minute to complete, and you know, this is how I got this time needed. But of course, like, it's impossible to calculate it in such way, because we are playing maps in fullest, we are doing other stuff inside our maps. Now, this is a very interesting, again, maps with no rarity versus maps with a rarity. You can see that right here we got, whenever you're playing maps with no rarity to it, you're gonna have like 0.5 divines per hour, and whenever you're playing maps with, like I said, estimated 50 to 100% increase, you will have 1.79 divines per hour. So, you know, we are getting much more loot whenever we are playing maps with rarity, of course. Like I said, alternative is to find a rarity onto your gear. You can have a little bit from the Atlas skill tree. I think 12% is max from Atlas skill tree. From the gear, like, depends on what kind of a build you're playing. I'm not able to, you know, squeeze in any kind of a rarity onto my gear. You have also, let's add here, like, precursor tablets. The conclusion of all of this is, if you want to do any kind of exalt spam onto strongboxes, do it only with researcher strongboxes, and everything else, you know, forget about it. Of course, do every unique strongbox that you see. Other strongboxes, yes, you can do it and you should do it. It takes only half a minute to complete it, but I would just, you know, come to a strongbox and just activate it. Do not put any any currency into it. Right now, at this moment, both Regal and Alchemy orbs are worth nothing. So, you know, this is after update. The market got destabilized heavily. But yeah, what am I gonna do with the strong boxes from this point is simple. Just juice up the researcher strong boxes, and every other strong box upgrade it to Regal level or Alchemy level, and that's it. Do not, you know, exalt spam. That is my conclusion. Anyway, that is it for this video. So strong boxes are nothing special, they are still good to do. I I was actually hoping that they would be so broken, because, you know, developers said, okay, we are buffing them, but, you know, this didn't really happen. The strong boxes just got fixed, and that's it. Oh, by the way, I got the gorilla, I got the chicken. This is my favorite one, this gorilla one, and this cock guy is, oh boy, it's so annoying. Like, I mean, look at this, look how slow he is, bro. Like, Man, I'm gonna get rid of him very, very soon. Yep, teleport to me, because you are slow. Anyway, I'm gonna stop right here, and yeah, if you managed to reach up until this point, remember to drop a like, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. If you have any suggestions, down in the comments. And yeah, I'm gonna stop. Take care, bye bye, peace up.